Remember, you have 2 times to make a first impression. One, when I look at you. Now, we would fool most people because you look okay. But ask yourself, if there wasn't a mandatory that you look like this for the seminar, how would you have dressed? The last seminar you went to, or something like a seminar, how did you dress? I pretty much know because I've looked at your Facebook. And I can tell you categorically, 100% accuracy, there's not a man or it that should keep his Facebook. And laughing and smiling is a coping mechanism for you being stupid. You've learned in life, if you smile or you giggle or laugh, it gets you off the hook. Well, in this forum, it puts you on the hook. And as I've told the people that I saw in one-on-one already, this is not, I repeat, not a networking event. Because the expectation was set, the bar was set high. When he said you ought to close every son of a bitch who walks through the door, that to me was 100%. Your expectations in life are dog shit. Not even dog shit. Dog diarrhea. You have to have somebody that you don't have to explain about. And yes, they are available. And you're gonna go through some rough emails and or phone calls or Zoom calls. Said, who the fuck are you? And contrary to, PC, these guys, who the fuck are you? That's how they talk. Because they're not on CNN trying to build a legacy of whatever. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean it didn't occur. Much of what I talk about during the seminar, you haven't even read about, let alone been exposed to it in person. But you don't have to like them. All you have to do is feel not comfortable. But if you have to tell your CEO, your CFO, your industry expert, etc., what to do, you pick the wrong person. These people are professionals. They're not their brother-in-law or whatever. And because of your lack of experience and because of your insecurity and all the things that I've beaten to death, you will pick somebody, even no matter how much I beat it to death. And that ultimately is going to be potentially your death knell. Yeah, but you don't have to like somebody to trust them. I want to trust them professionally. They know what the fuck to do. When I'm in a coma, what else do I have to say? And why are your goals? They're also rants because nobody set the bar for you. What's the greatest achievement that your parents ever did? Nothing. What's the greatest achievement your grandparents? Nothing. So even in new math, nothing, and nothing is nothing. And that's where you are today. It scares a lot of people, which is good for our model, because the people that we're going to be transacting business, to the extent that you follow the model, are scared shitless. If you honestly think, if you're that fucking stupid, if you're that fucking uneducated to think that Trump can put the world into a depression, this model's not going to help you. God himself, and I'm as close to God as you're ever going to get. If you're that uneducated, if you're that afraid, nothing can help you. But we all know people are that afraid. I've been accused of taking advantage of the Achilles heel of human nature, fear. We are taking advantage in a legal, moral, and ethical way of the Achilles heel of human nature. And remember, our primary tool is seller's finance, which we call seller's equity, because the banks don't give a fuck where the equity comes from. Most of you in this room, I went back and checked before I said that, are accidents. Now just imagine your biological parents are in school. Your biological father is in med school. Your biological mother is working on her master's in fuck all, whatever. And he comes home from school. He has to work to support himself through med school. And she's all happy, slappy. She says, I've got great news for us. We're gonna have a baby. Now you're 6 or 7 or 8 weeks already. And the studies have shown that you can hear this shit and your biological father goes nuclear. You stupid fucking moron. What's wrong with you? Can't you keep your fucking legs together? And he goes on and on and on. And then you're born and you wonder why maybe you're not treated with the respect that you should be treated as a new baby. You're 1, 2, 3 years old. And then the next baby comes along. He's out of medical school. He's a doctor. She got her master's degree. She's a teacher. And the other kids are treated differently because you were not only a mistake, an accident, you disrupted. Now, in some cases, the poor fucker drops out of medical school. And in some cases, the wife doesn't finish her master's so she can be a fucking librarian or a school teacher. Then you're treated even worse. And several of you in this room fall into that category. So what kind of role model can that be? Well, I cried a couple times during the seminar, if you were noticing, because when they say that I'm passionate about this, I am. But I cried the first seminar I gave when I'm telling these stories because I know what's possible. And I should be numb after 32 years that you can't do it or you won't do it or however you bullshitted yourself into believing that it's not possible. But I still cry about it. It breaks my fucking heart. It just does. Everybody in this room can do a deal like the pig fucker, but I know you're not. Whatever excuse bullshit you have, it breaks my fucking heart. I should be used to it by now, but I'm still not used to it because I know what you're capable of. Answering that question from before, you'll do whatever it takes. Talk cheap, a lot of people say, and they don't mean it. And how's your program work? It hasn't. With one or two exceptions in this room, you couldn't give a blowjob away, not you giving the blowjob, you couldn't give a blowjob away to a drunken sailor. Does everybody understand what that means? And that's from the chairman to the motivated seller. If you don't take it serious, you're going to fail and go on Reddit and say QLA didn't work. What you're not going to say is QLA didn't work for me because I'm a cunt and I look like a flapping vagina when I walk down the street. You're not going to put that down. QLA works. You heard Peter say it works everywhere for everybody and he says, if you're going to try, don't bother. Or you're listening carefully enough to hear that. If you're going to try, don't bother. It's in my best interest that you succeed. So I add numbers to my totals. But not just numbers to my totals because I've changed, not arguably, I've changed at least 2 million lives, families. And for every person that I've trained, directly or indirectly, their families, nucleus has changed. So if you want to say that I'm giving back, I don't look at it that way, but I know a lot of people do. I don't need the recognition to build my self-esteem. My self-esteem is bigger than this fucking room. I don't need that. I need you to build your self-esteem because I know without it, you're going to stay in your shell. Well, we don't have any geniuses in this room other than me. You don't have to be a genius once you get over this. I cannot fill your cup with QLA until you empty your cup of all the other shit that you learned. And I mean that 100%. You gotta have every drop of shit that's in that cup out. Otherwise, it's harder and harder and harder to do this because you will question. Wanting to know why instead of the how, coupled with you rather be liked than effective, is a killer. Because there are no win-win situations, kids, which you believe in. Whoever told you that was full of shit. There are no win-win. Some of the intellects or pretend intellects in the room are gonna change the scripts. And then you're gonna write Kim or call Kim and say the scripts don't work. But you don't tell Kim you changed them. If there's a dangling participle, which nobody in this room even knows what that means, or a split infinitive, which nobody in this fucking room understands what that means, don't change the fucking scripts! Or if you do change the scripts, don't contact Kim and tell her when they don't work. Most of the scripts, if they don't work, it's because you sound like a whore in church. Nervous, you haven't practiced, like I tell you. But we're gonna show you what to do, not just in that case, vis-a-vis the contracts that you're gonna sign. Whether you do them or not is up to you. But if you don't do them and then you get thrown out on your ass, don't be calling Kim. She tells me, such and such is on the phone. Give me his file. I review your homework, because we keep stats. I review, I remember the moron asked 4 million questions. I'm busy. And even though I hope that you're strong, I know the reality is that most aren't. And that's just the sad truth. You think about paying off your house. You think about your nagging fucking wife that's still there. All that stuff will flash through your brain, and you'll say, okay. And you'll cable over like a melted ice cream in the sun. Because you're a cunt. Okay, go fuck yourself, YouTube.